In 5, 4.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Sampl'd podcast. I'm your I'm your girl Mo, and I'm here with my boo Breeziana. Hey now.
Hey, we're
So
on
this,
Zoom now.
I know this is our first time not being next to each other. So this is different, but nonetheless, we'll make it fun
Exactly.
for sure.
That's what we're here to do.
All day. So today we have a fun little episode planned for you guys, and we're gonna get right into it. Today we're gonna do a little battle. We're gonna do a death row versus bad boy battle. What? Now listen, I gotta say, I'm a West Coast girl. So
Obviously.
right, I'm a West Coast girl, so I feel like, when I was doing this and I was getting my songs and I'm like, "Ugh, I'm really a West Coast girl. Like, but I do mess with the East Coast. I ain't gonna lie. I do mess with the East Coast. But this was fun, kind of getting some songs together. And of course, our songs are gonna have samples, right?
Duh. Where are we? The sample podcast.
Exactly. So, in case this is your first time checking us out, I'm Mo, that's Breeziana, and this is the Sample Podcast where we look at all things music. We are mother and daughter who stay connected through sound. And so, yeah, that's us. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this little death row versus bad boy battle we're gonna have today. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I can start. I will go ahead and start.
Let's
So,
go.
um, I'm gonna start with Afro Puffs by
Okay.
Lady of Rage. And
Right.
I will say about this song is that it reminds me of you.
Does it?
Yes, because I feel like every time that song comes on, you're like you're into it always.
For sure. And I'm pretty sure I got a little move. I rock and stuff with my breath puffs, red, rock on. Yes. No, that definitely is my joint.
And
That's for sure my joint.
yeah, that song, it's a bust down. It's a bust down. The video looks just so fun to be a part of. Like you just want to be there.
Nah, for real. Like, and I mean, like, it's definitely a song that is, I think anytime you play it, people are going to be like, hey, like,
Yeah.
they going to rock with it. So, especially whether you grew up in that era or not, you're going to really rock with that song.
Yeah. And it makes me want to get like, some Afro puffs, some shades, like
Right, exactly. Exactly. I'm not mad at you. Okay, I'm going to take that one.
with the
All
whole.
right.
So that's my first death row song. And during my research and preparation for this episode,
Mm,
I learned that song samples more bounce to the ounce by Zap,
okay.
which is also a bust down.
Definitely a buzz down.
Yeah.
More bounce to the ounce takes me like that's all day 80s. That is like I used to have I have the picture. I'm gonna find it for you. I'm gonna post it. But like I had these red shorts that had the little white trim, and I actually see shorts like these today. And I'm like, you know what? I
I
need
had
to
some
go and
cheap
get me
shorts
a pair.
like that.
Yes. And I had this red and white terry cloth Olympic shirt. Terry cloth was really big back in the 80s. But more bounce just is like that bicycle on the skates, walking,
Yeah, I was gonna say it makes me want to skate.
for sure. In the middle of the street, back in the day, like it's a feel good song. So
Yeah,
I
it is.
feel like maybe that connection is what will keep that
Makes
song.
yeah,
Yeah,
makes both songs so
for
good.
sure. For sure.
And my bad boy song, so my first bad boy song sample is Can't You See by Total.
Okay. All
I
right.
really like that song.
Got it.
And
I
I feel
love
like that song, it's just a really good song. It does sound a lot like another Biggie song, but it's still a bust down.
It is. It really is. Like, can't you see? Is definitely. So when you see the memes and you see like Diddy or even the group Total, and you yeah, or you see Total doing that, like you know, that's what that is. But I love Total. Like I
Yeah.
freaking love Total.
I
That's
feel like the 90s gave us some real great girl groups.
you won't get any arguments here. You absolutely you're not. You're not gonna get any arguments from me. Like,
Very good girl groups came out of
well, the '90s also gave us good R&B in
it.
general. You know what I mean?
I
Like
agree.
just some solid R&B, which a lot of people from my generation and my age group, they're missing that.
Yeah.
That R&B.
Well, what I will say is that there is a lot of good R&B being put out there now. It's not being pushed like all
Yeah,
of the other stuff that's being pushed. I'm not going to say too much on that, but
yeah.
um, there is a lot of good R&B out there. So don't lose hope, all you people out there.
And we definitely have. We're gonna have an episode where we visit some of that. Today versus back then. Um, yeah, we'll have some of that. We'll explore
You
some of that
got to come back for it.
for sure. You got to come back. All right, so let me give
Your
you
turn.
my turn. All right, so for Death Row, definitely cannot do Death Row without doing Tupac. And I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So the song I chose is California Love.
Clap.
California Love is definitely a song that is, first of all, is just going, everybody is going to just get up and go, right?
Right.
And,
Whether you're from California or not,
right,
but especially if you're from California.
for sure. And because it's Tupac. So I feel like, it's one of those songs.
Yeah.
It's one of those,
Classic.
it's a classic. It's one of those feel good songs. And yeah, I just rock with it. And of course, there's a sample. So the sample is by a group called Clear, I believe that's how you pronounce it.
Mhm.
And it's called Intimate Connection. Um, which is like when you listen, you like, ah, snap. Like, okay, damn,
I
all
know
right.
the song. That's funny. Now about California Love. I have a memory associated with that song. Memory alert. So during high school, you had to be at work. When I was in high school, you had to be at work really, really early. So had to have granny or grandpa take me to school.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one day grandpa was taking me and my friend at the time to school. And, we were listening to KJLH like we always do. And one morning they were playing California Love on the radio. And normally grandpa is like, ugh, I don't want to listen to this, all this rap music, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Well, this particular day when California Love came on, he turned it all the way up and he had his cue arm out the was jamming. And when it got to the part when it was like, shake it, baby, shake, like that part, he was going crazy. And he
Of
was
course.
shake it, baby. You know how he be with that?
Yes.
He was getting it. So that song now and forever will remind me of Grandpa driving
Um,
down Western, bumping California Love.
California Love, right? And that's when he's gonna turn up. And see, and then he's also gonna tell you, now see, I can do this.
Yeah.
This this is good. He's gonna be like, this is good rap. He's like, okay, all right.
All right. Are you listening to them verses though, Grandpa? Are you?
Right. But I'll tell you what it is. It's definitely the music behind the track.
Yeah.
Like it's the track itself. Like
Yeah.
that's what he gets. He's probably tuned out. And if he's only hearing the radio version, he's good. He's good.
That is a very valid point.
Um, so for my first bad boy, I have three, but since you started yours with Biggie. I
Hmm.
have a Biggie song, but I'm gonna go with Faith Evans,
Okay.
and the song is "I Love You." And
Me too.
Faith Evans, her first album, like it is for me, it's one of the albums that I listen to from beginning to end, and I don't have to skip it.
Mm, I
Uh,
love those albums.
yeah, yeah. So that one, I really like. I love that song. I love that song. Um, and of course, got a sample, which this one was a new one for me. Like this one was a learning experience for me.
Hmm.
But it is Isaac Hayes, Make a Little Love to Me.
Oh.
So I'm quite sure you probably haven't heard it because I was not familiar with it. So check it out when you get a chance. And don't forget, we're gonna put up a playlist for you guys to be able to check these songs out, listen to them, make the connections with the songs.
Yeah.
Maybe you know the old, maybe you know the new, maybe you know both, but either
I
way,
want you to check it out, listen and see what we're talking about here.
for sure. Right.
Connect with us.
All right. So let's go. What you got next?
Well, what before we continue, I will say this. Um, I don't know a lot of songs by Isaac Hayes, but I like his voice.
Mm-hmm.
Very deep.
Very
Like
sultry, yeah.
yeah, like Barry White.
Mm-hmm.
I like Barry White's voice too.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to
Yes.
start singing, but we're not on that right now. So we get back to the topic at hand. And the song that I am going to say is Next Episode by
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is on that song? I'm blanking. Or is it just them two?
I think it's just them. But I'm definitely familiar with next episode. That's
Yeah,
my
yes. That song, it just reminds me of my childhood, like driving,
really.
yeah, driving to school because we would listen to Power 106 all the time, and
Mm.
or K Day that was always bumping on like a 93.5. There it is. When they started, when they shifted to all oldies, it was
Mm-hmm.
all like all not oldies, but like all like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
back
I,
joint.
yeah.
And that, yeah, that's just what that reminds me of, like middle school driving and like being with whether I was like, with you and our family, like out here, Coco Trey and everybody, because they will bump that there. And
Definitely gonna hear it in Trey's. Like if Trey is DJing, you definitely gonna hear that Dr. Dre.
exactly. And even my dad was
Yeah.
always playing, like, he's a music head too. So it
Mm-hmm.
was just, and we're all from
Right.
Southern California, LA to be specific. So
West
yeah,
side, this
that
side.
that's a good one. I learned that this is a sample. It is a sample. I didn't know that it was a sample at first.
Okay.
But it's a song called The Edge. It looks a little different, but Dr. Dre, he's known for like picking and pulling stuff because
Yeah.
he's known for like being able to flip things around, which is one of the
Yeah.
things that I think really like makes him stick out as a
Having
producer.
that ear for
Mhm.
sure. Yep.
Being able to sample those things like that.
Yeah. Having man.
Talent.
Huh?
I said it's a talent being able to do that
Definitely.
and
Definitely.
make it into a whole like gangster rap type of song. Like that's talent. The
Yeah.
man has talent.
Yeah. For sure.
Um and so another song, a bad boy song that I have is going to be Janelle Monae. Now I did not know that Janelle Monae was signed to Bad Boy. Did you know that?
I didn't know that until you
Yeah.
shared that with me.
Fun facts, fun
Right.
facts. Good that we are like putting ourselves in the situation where we get to, learn,
Learn.
yeah, learn
Sure.
more about the music that we love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, that Janelle Monae, love Janelle Monae by the way, but her song Pink, really good song. Love the music video. I don't know if you've seen the music video, but you
I
definitely,
haven't. I'll check it out.
because she's so eccentric and just like different. She's over the
He
top, and
is.
she's very she's just unique,
She is.
and she's what's the word I'm looking for? Unapologetic. That
Hmm.
is how I feel about Janelle Monáe, and that's what the song is pretty much about, like embracing your womanness,
Hmm.
apologetic about it. So it's a really good song. Gotta check it out.
Okay. Got it. Got it. All right. All right.
And I think it's back on you.
Okay. So next, let's see. For my death row, I went with Lil Snoop, and I went with Lottie Dottie, which is on the Doggy Style album. And when I heard that, I was just like, "Oh, snap! Okay." So this was kind of just a fun song, just because uh, just how he put the song out there, how he twisted it, because he redid Lottie Dottie by Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick.
Right.
And so there's one part, the one part in the song, it's all because of you. That, like, and I'm like, oh my God. So when Snoop came out with it, I was just like, oh dang, I remember, because when Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick had their song, like obviously that was like in the like 80s sometime.
Hmm.
And I love Slick Rick. Let me tell you, I'm a Slick Rick fan. Um, Dougie Fresh fan. So it was just like, I was like, okay, that's cool. I like that.
You have
Um,
that connection, that connection.
yeah, yeah, the connection. So I like how Snoop made it his own.
Hmm.
Like there were some things that he kind of flipped around, but you still got it,
Here's the reference.
exactly, exactly. So that's one of my, I like that song though. It's kind of like, it's a little fun and quirky for me.
Yeah.
I like it.
But I feel like the Doggy Style album is it's a really fun album.
Yeah, Doggy Style is definitely a fun album. That is like a straight up classic.
Yeah,
Like
for
that
sure.
is a classic album all day,
Yeah,
all day.
definitely.
And then
Stamp of approval on that one.
yeah, for sure. For my bad boy,
Bad boy.
bad boy. So I went with Biggie, Hypnotize.
Yes.
And so um Big that wasn't the first song that I became familiar with Biggie, but I think that was like the second one. But that samples
Mm-hmm.
this song by a guy named Herb Albert.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've heard of him, but Herb Albert was very popular in the 80s. And the
What's the
song
song
sample,
by? Oh well, what is the sample? I'll let you finish. Sorry. You can.
yeah, so the song is called Rise.
Mm-hmm.
But and it's a so Herb Albert, I wouldn't call him jazz. He wasn't jazz, but a lot of his songs they were pretty much instrumental for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
There may be some singing here and there. There's another popular song out right now that someone has sampled. I think we've talked about it before. I'm not sure, but I'm going to save it just
Mm.
in case.
Okay.
Um, but that was my Bad Boy song. That was my Bad Boy song.
Hypnotized by Biggie. That song also reminds me of my childhood because that was also one of the songs that would play on the radio all the time. Like,
Hmm.
so I just remember being in the back seat of any and everybody's car, like, like just
Just bobbing.
exactly enjoying the music, enjoying the music. So yeah, that is a song that I also enjoy. And I think it's funny that you mentioned Lottie Dottie off of the Doggy Style album because I also have a song off of the Doggy Style album.
Ooh.
Um, Ain't No Fun.
Oh, Yeah, that gotta do that. Gotta do that.
If the homies can't have none.
Ain't
I
no
think
fun.
we did talk about this song before.
We talked
Because
about well, this was one of the songs. So we talked about this song in our last episode with the crew.
with the
And
honorable mention, because it does remind me of Coco, but it's just a fun song,
it is.
and it also samples an earlier Ice Cube song. Did you know that?
Mm,
I'm blanking on the name of the song, but I will include it in the playlist and I'll send it to you right after this. But it does sample an old Ice Cube song that I'm gonna have to brush up on my research. But yes. So pop quiz. If you can tell us the Ice Cube song,
and I'm playing the beat in my head, and I'm like, I don't hear Ice Cube, but
if you can think of it, you won't win anything other than I'm just gonna say that. But yes,
hmm,
that
okay.
that song, Bust Down, it's one of my favorites. Also, it's another one of the songs that reminds me of my childhood, but I'm thinking about it. And this was on all these songs that I mentioned were on the radio. Um, Mostly the Death Row songs like Next Episode, Ain't No Fun, Afro Puffs, all of that was on the radio. So I'm just thinking like I listen to I'm an adult now. So I listen to the explicit versions and I'm just like I can't believe that they were putting these songs on the radio. Like do you know how much work it takes just to make a clean version of these songs? Like I love the songs, but just can't make
Definitely.
it to the radio.
Definitely. All right, all right.
And I think I
I,
owe you a bad boy song, right?
I mean, a bad boy.
And so my bad boy song is going to be 112. You
Mm,
already know.
that's my song. Now
Now
that
you
is
already
one.
know that it was gonna be 112. I mean, you already know by 112. Had to clarify.
Yeah, that is actually one of my favorite 112 songs.
I like
Mm,
112 a lot.
I
Slim
love
has
112.
such a distinct voice.
Yes.
Like
Oh my
you know
God.
it when you hear it.
Every song, like, yeah, man. Slim's voice is just very unique. I love, I love 112. And I love Slim like I enjoyed his solo album that he did. And I was like,
Mhm.
come on, Slim, where you at? Where you at? But yeah, I do like, I'm a 112 fan, man.
Yeah,
Listen,
you already know it's a really good song. Now, that's not my favorite 112 song, but it's a good one. It's a
man,
really, a really
I
good
have
one.
a few.
They got yeah,
How do you pick like, cause I'm
yeah,
like,
because they got
112,
classics on classics.
they do. Man. Yeah. All right. Okay, bad boy. I see you. I see you, bad boy. All right.
They got the music for us. The music.
All right. Okay. So
What's your final two? Your final two.
my final two. So my death row is going to be anything by SWV. Now, while SWV is not a death row artist, the song came from the Above the Rim soundtrack, which was on Death Row. And
Loophole.
but I love that song. Like, I mean, obviously there we go back to the 1990s to the
Wait, did
girl.
you say the song?
Anything.
Oh,
If I didn't, I'm sorry. It's anything by SWV. But I went to that because I was like, dang, I remember this soundtrack. Like that, the Above the Rim soundtrack is dope. Like
mhm.
they got some cuts on there. Your song is on there.
Yes.
Lady Rage, that's on there. Um,
And look
and
at
so
that, the connections. We picked multiple songs from the
you
same
see
album.
that? You see that?
Crazy. Gotta work.
And so there's a sample from this song. It's called "Get Up and Dance" by a
Hmm.
group called Freedom. And if you like, though, yeah, you gotta listen to it. Go listen to it.
I
Check
will
it.
when that playlist drop.
Yeah, check it out. Um, and then my last song for Bad Boy is Mace. Feels so good. So that's just a very fun song. And it makes me want to do that little hop skip, like you know the move I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
it makes me want to do that when I hear it. And it's just like whenever you see Mace, whenever I picture Mace in his videos, and he's like always very fun, very energetic, and it just brings it
Damn.
it brings you the energy. Like it gives you that energy. But it's definitely I love that song. Um, and then the song that it samples, Cool in the Gang, Hollywood Swinging. So Cool in the Gang, Hollywood Swinging is definitely like a skate song.
Definitely a skate song. It's like the theme song of Roll Bounce.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. That was it. Yes. So it definitely is like gives you skating vibes.
Yeah, for sure.
Skating vibes.
That's a good song. And I didn't know that feels so good sampled that song. So that's
Mm-hmm.
that's good. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now since we went through all of that, the Death Row Bad Boy, putting them up against each other, because you guys know the drama was real back in the 90s when it came to Death Row Bad Boy. So we are going to start introducing you guys to our games because we did tell you that we would be playing some games in these episodes. Excuse me. So the first game that we're going to play is called So Scandalous. And in this game, we are going to try to get the other person to guess the artist that we're talking about by naming a scandal that they've been a part of. Yeah, that's really pretty much it. That's the clue that you can give. If you really need to give another clue, that person's struggling really, really hard, you can give a song clue. We can add that rule in there. So I'm going to go first. I'm going to give my clue first because I think that I I think this is a clue that you might be able to pick up on.
Okay.
So the person that I want you to guess, this person, they've been in quite a few scandals, I would say. They've been in quite a few scandals. Uh, One scandal that this person was involved in was stealing. Well, this person was dating a very famous pop star, very famous pop star, and word on the street, the tea is that he stole this pop star from another man who is also in the industry.
Hmm.
I'll give
So
you a clue. The pop star is Madonna.
oh, and I have heard, oh my gosh. I feel like I've heard something about her.
Okay, let me say something else. He's a
Okay.
rapper, if that wasn't obvious.
And I'm trying to think of the rapper because I know I've heard about her with the rapper, and I'm like, who is it? Okay, give me another clue.
Okay, so I'll give you a song clue. The song is just gonna make it so obvious. um.
Um,
Okay. Okay.
are
Uh,
they younger? Were they younger?
Well, yeah, I would say. I mean, I guess they probably were around the same age. I think. Yeah, they might be around the same age. Because how old is Madonna? She's like 50 something. She's 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're around the same age. Might be like a year or two difference or something. Um, I'm trying to think of a song clue that's not going to make it obvious. Uh, Play your cards right.
This is so terrible. Oh my God. Play your cards right.
Play your cards right. Play ya.
Oh my gosh. I am really drawing a blank right now.
Yes, because that song clue, I picked that one because it wouldn't make it obvious. Do you give up?
I do.
It's Tupac.
Um,
Word on
mm,
the street is two. I feel like that's kind of scandalous. Tupac, Madonna, two people that you wouldn't expect to be together. Um,
mm. How could
and
I?
the word on the street is that Tupac stole Madonna from Haitian Jack, who is a
Yes, yes. That's okay. So I'm like, I remember hearing about that recently, and I'm like, I can't remember. I could not remember who the players were involved, but I remember, especially after watching the special on the Hip Hop Uncovered. Yes. Okay, you got me. You got me. Um,
I'm up one.
you are. So because I feel like you know about a lot of things, music, old and new, there was a scandal
Mm,
back in the so there was a group
you got me
between the
win.
80s and the 90s. Two guys. And crazy thing is they were really just kind of like one hit wonders. Like they did a lot off of this one song, right? But they were involved in probably um I mean, it was pretty scandalous. It was pretty scandalous. And
What was
I'm
the
going
scandal?
so the scandal was basically, and if I say the actual scandal, it's going to give it away because I feel like it's something you should know about. But let's just say that they were not who they said they were.
Two guys. You said 80s and 90s.
Between the 80s and 90s. So late
Okay.
80s. I believe they like really kind of boomed in like the late 80s,
Okay.
early 90s, somewhere in there.
Okay. Um, now I'm gonna give you my thought process.
All
So
right.
you said 80s, 90s. And then you said group. So I started thinking about groups around in the 80s and in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
New Edition, who else was around in the 80s? Boys to Men wasn't really 80s, but they were 90s. So that was the era that I was thinking, right? And then you said it was two guys. So I'm like, okay, two guy groups, 80s, 90s. So you know where my mind went? Hall and Oates. And I
No,
started to think about scandals that Hall and Oates might have been involved
I know of, not to say that there aren't any, but I do not know of any Hall and
in.
Oates scandals. And Hall and Oates definitely was not one hit wonder. Like,
Right. And then you said one hit wonders. And I'm like, okay, Hall and Oates definitely had a bunch of hits.
right.
And we're gonna have to do an episode, something
Ooh, we
around.
do.
We'll
For
figure
sure.
we'll figure it out because I
For
love me some
sure.
Hall and Oates.
Well,
But
you already know like the samples that will come out of that. So
we'll save that for another day.
for sure.
But back to this clue because I think that I got it now. Because then you also said you said late 80s and 90s, and then you said that if you said the clue, you'd be giving, or the said the scandal, you'd be giving it away.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to go with is crisscross.
Nope.
Damn it.
But that's a good guess, though. That's a good guess.
I was going to go with crisscross.
That's a good guess. I don't I like I said, I don't know if you would get this if you have heard of it or if you are familiar with it.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay, now my
but you surprise me on a lot of things, so I'm like, she might really know about this.
okay, so now I have a second guess, but I'm
Okay,
gonna let you go ahead and tell me who it is to see if
give me
I.
your second guess.
No, I want you to tell me who it is first.
All right, so the group is called Milli Vanilli. Have you heard of them?
Yes, I have
Are
heard of
you
them.
familiar with their scandal?
They were thieves.
Kind of. So basically, they won Grammys for this. Like they won Grammys for this album, all sorts of stuff. Like blew up, only to find out it was not their vocals.
Wow.
Like it was a big deal, and they were like these really popular guys. I can't remember if they were related or not, but they were really popular, and they had these braids, and you know,
Yeah.
like yeah.
Wow.
And come to find out, like they weren't even singing. And I'm like, who would allow a person
Yeah.
now that I didn't, I mean, I wasn't thinking about this then because I was kind of young, I'm sure. Like at that time, I wasn't processing things like that. But I'm like, so you mean you just recorded this for these people and they were going to make the
Right.
money? Like, what kind of money were you getting? What
That
were
part.
they paying you? But yeah, so
They
Millie
heard
Vanilli.
your voice.
Exactly. But of course, when everything was uncovered, they lost their Grammy.
Wow.
It was snatched away, as it should have been.
Wow. Yeah. So I was way off.
Yeah,
Clearly.
that was
'Cause
fun.
yeah, that was fun. I like that game. I like that
Yes.
game. Yeah, so that's good. That's good. I can't wait to play another game because we got
Uh,
a lot of games in our pocket.
yeah, for
That was
sure.
my little
For sure.
yeah.
I love it.
Yes. So
I
we
love it.
want
Well,
to thank you guys for joining
yes.
us on this episode of the Sample Podcast. Hope that you enjoy. If you haven't seen the last two episodes, then I suggest you run to our Instagram TV and go watch those last two episodes and head to the link in our bio to see all of our playlists that we have created thus far on this sampled journey.
Please do. And let us know your thoughts. Let us know your ideas. Let us know, like if there's something you want to see, holla at
And
us.
if we miss something, tell us.
For
Like we said,
sure.
we know a lot, but we don't know everything. Clearly, as proven by the so scandalous game.
Listen. My brain really drew a blank there. Really drew a blank.
Well, I'm glad I was able to stump you, and I'm surprised that you were able to stump me.
I know. I'm really surprised you didn't. I'm like, oh, okay. I got her on something.
Yes, you did. You did.
Gotcha. All right, man. Well, this has been fun as usual. I can't wait
Yeah.
to do it again.
And I will catch you next time. Catch you all next time.
All righty.
Bye.